Patrick here, have Cheetah Willview, and we are here for day 28 of 31 Days of Halloween. So the movie that me and the Cheetah watched and decided to deep dive in is a movie I haven't seen before. This was actually one of my buddy Catfish's movies, and I was looking for something to watch, and I went to the box to take a peek at it, and I saw this movie, and I remember it when it came out. It got a little bit of a buzz when it came out, not too much, but it was enough. And he must have liked it, and because he bought it, and which is sort of funny because Romy really didn't like supernatural horror too much, which just really surprises me when I see exactly how much supernatural horror he had. But I think he got his stuff early. I think he later on, I think later on it became that he didn't like it too much because it got pretty. Supernatural horror has actually matured pretty well. There are a lot of scary stories out there to be told. But the movie we're going to be talking about today is when I saw it when I saw the movie and I read about it. I thought, well, you can't get much safer than this. Big major Hollywood cast, PG-13, big studio. Should be okay. And so, An American Haunting from 2005, and it pretty much exactly what I thought it would be. Donald Sutherland, Sissy Spacek, James D'Arcy, and Rachel Hurd Wood in one of her earliest performances. It is a story about purports about the Bell Witch curse. There's a true myth, true folklore, a true incident of the Bell family and the village that they lived in being haunted for 4 years between the years 1817 to 1821, that the town and the family of the Bells were haunted by a poltergeist entity. Um, so it's actually I don't know. I've read a lot. I read a couple of books about the Bell Witch, but that was a long time ago, so I would have to go back into it to get up to speed. I do know that this is a take of that curse, and this is the idea for them for this movie. This is their idea. This movie was written by Christopher Milburn and Andre Rouleau, which is a little bit interesting. Uh, this was a multi-nation production. What I mean by that, I mean there was four countries to help produce this movie, and that was the United States, Canada, Romania, and France. Romania. I'm sorry, United Kingdom, Canada, Romania, and the United States, because of Donald Sutherland and Sissy Spacek and all that. It says a truly chilling tale. Well, I can't say that, but I will say that this is the plot. So the story is divided into two. There's it's sort of like a young mother is reading a story, a family history, and it's her history. She starts reading it, and when she does, we get taken from the modern day back to 1817, and we meet the Bell family. And in it, we see that John Bell has been accused of taking advantage of a neighbor and charging a little bit high prices on her loan. And so the church comes down on him and says, "Yeah, you shouldn't have done that." And so basically, what they've done is they pretty much smeared his reputation in the town by convicting him of it. He didn't get convicted of a crime, but he got convicted of something worse, and that is social standing in the town, which back in the 1800s was a huge deal. You much rather go to jail almost than to have your family knocked down in the eyes of your town and your society friends. So the woman who supposedly that John has cheated. Well, she says she's throwing a curse on the family, and so of course they sort of laughed that off. But Then weird things start happening in the house. All sorts of bumps in the night. A lot of jump scares. Holy cow! This movie thrived on two things. One, a crescending score, which was everywhere. The score was everywhere. And that was by Kane Davidson. And wow, could have used a little bit of a reduction of the sound, because it was just too overpowering in some places. And then the other thing was the jump scare. Holy crow. Man, everything around, you go around the corner for every time in the house, and there's like big music and, fast cuts, fast edits, and, and the reason why they had to do that was because this is a PG-13 film with major names and not going to get gory. Not going to get gory with it. I know, right? Donald Sutherland, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Sissy Spacek from Carrie, and In the Bedroom. So it's not like these actors aren't scared of the gore. They're not, they don't mind doing intense work. But this movie is aimed for a younger audience, so it's PG-13. So a lot of the scares in this movie come from the jump scares. There's no gore in it to be mentioned. Though the theme of the movie, this is their take of the movie. Courtney Solomon. Their take of the movie is pretty different. And actually, since this came out in 2005, this is actually pretty cutting edge, because back then, I don't think you saw very much of this. But we find out that there is no witch, there is no curse, but there is true evil in that house. True evil and vengeance. We do find out what is causing the static in the house, and we do find out how the family overcame it. And quite honestly, hats off to them, because that's a pretty ingenious thing to do. If you've seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. We can't really talk about that aspect of the movie because we've given the whole story away. I will say that the ending of the movie, the very ending, when they bring it back up to the modern times, and the mom sees the ramifications of her family history, and she sees it being replayed in the modern time, and it causes her to run after her own daughter. That seemed really forced on, and I didn't really like that ending. I just thought it was forced. It would have been more interesting to see her discover it throughout the movie while she was reading the story, connecting the pieces, as she's reading. Like, this is happening here now in my house, what happened in the Bell house. And she sees that while she's reading it. But they don't really put that together until it's way too late. And then the ending is it took a lot. I don't know. I didn't like the ending too much. I thought this was pretty harmless. It's good for a watch. It's good for a watch. If you like I like Sissy Spacek and Donald Sutherland, so I'll hang on to this. This is fun. This is my buddy Catfish. He went and got this, so I'll hang on to it. But overall, American Haunting was not scary at all. Not in the traditional sense. Not in the sense that you think. I will give you this. If you watched the first part of it, think of the most scary part about that movie. Think about American Haunting, and you'll connect it. Then you'll know what really makes this movie disturbing and scary. All right, this is PG-13, ran 83 minutes. It's fun. I would recommend it. I would, if you could find it for on the lowdown, on the cheap, I would add it to a collection. I wouldn't pay full price for it. I paid like a quarter for it, because that's what I pay for library stuff. But I'd like to thank my buddy Catfish for thinking about me when he left this behind. Thank you guys for watching, and we will get out of here for day 29 of the 31 days of Halloween. All right, here we go. Peace.